Hey everybody, it's Lorraine again. It's nice to see you again in a weird sort of way, but that's okay. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about something called grounding, and it's much more practical this time. So there's going to be a bit more of me talking, but the activity is within the video. So, and we'll all have a bit of a practice as we go along. Now then, the reason we do grounding is to help with that. Do you remember that fight, flight, or freeze way we deal with anxiety? Okay, so give you a bit of a reminder. Do you remember that spine, and then the top of the brain there is called the amygdala? And what happens, we've got our thinking brain here, and when we're really anxious or worried, or we see something as a bit of a threat to us, it stops our thinking brain working and our alarm bell starts going off. You know, it senses danger and it's got to do something about it. And what will happen is that our heart will start beating faster, and we'll starting to get ready for action, and we'll have a lot of energy because we're getting ready to run, we're getting ready to fight. Or what might also happen is that we kind of feel distant and we feel like we're not part of the world. It feels a bit weird, a bit surreal. So this is what happens to us, and what we're trying to do in these grounding techniques are actually trying to give you time for your thinking brain just to calm down, that alarm bell to say it's okay, things aren't that bad, don't worry, and to give yourself that bit of time. Okay, now then, right, okay, here's the first one. I want you to shuffle on your seat, and we're going to do this together. Now, it's so easy, this, but you just got to do this exercise and be very aware of what you're doing. Rather than just plonking yourself down on a chair, you've got to just be aware of what you're doing. So, you're sitting on your chair. I want you to be very, very aware of your legs sitting on the chair and your bum tucked to the back of the chair. What I want you to do is feet firmly on the floor. There we go. So you're being much more aware of the world around you, of where you're sitting, of your classroom, of your table that you're sitting at. Put your hands on the table in front of you and really just feel that table. Feel your chair, feel your back to the back of the chair. Roll your shoulders back. Take a nice breath in. And just by doing this, you are connecting to the world around you. You're feeling like things are real again. And you do this for as long as you need to. This might be a really good one if you've got a test or an exam, because you can just quietly sit there and almost gather yourself and just sit and connect and breathe, feel slightly calmer. Okay. Now, the next one is a senses countdown. This is quite a good one. So it counts down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now this can be adapted to suit you. It doesn't have to be exactly in the way I do it. But what I will do is I will just say it out loud so you know what I'm doing. But you can just do this quietly in your head, and it's the kind of thing that if you're feeling anxious, nobody else needs to know. You can just quietly just feel a little bit calmer and do this exercise. Or maybe have a trusted friend or a teacher to do it with you and just help to bring you back down, and again let that calm thinking brain take control back over the alarm bell. Okay, right, so again I want you to sit down and comfortably. Now then, so we start at 5. And what I want you to do is look around you in the classroom and just in your head, just list 5 things that you can see. Okay, so I'm looking around and I can see books, I can see dining chairs, I can see the curtains, see some photos, and I can see a big plant. And now you list 4 things that you can touch. So that might be the table in front of you. I've got a pen here. So just touching this pen can just really help as well. Twiddling with that can help you. And oh, that's it, there's a coaster there where my coffee cup has been. Oh, my diary. And now we do 3 things that you can hear. So just quietly sit. What can you hear? I think it's about to start. I think it's starting to rain. I can hear the rain. Yeah, it's starting to rain. I can hear my washing machine going. Ooh, actually, I can hear the chair creak as I shuffle on it. And now we do 2 things that you can smell. I've got a cup of coffee. Smell that. Oh, that's the soap on my hands. I'm just washing my hands so I can smell the soap on my hands too. And sometimes perhaps having like a handkerchief with like an essential oil on it can help too. So, but you have to do that with help, either at home or with your teacher. So lavender, you might be able to just have a smell of lavender on a handkerchief, and that can really be calming as well. And then finally, 1 thing that you can taste. Now this might be where you have a nice cool drink of water and feel it really just going down and cooling your tummy and going all the way down. I've got my coffee. Or it might be just feeling your tongue in your mouth. So 1 thing you can taste. Okay, so that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And by focusing on the world around you, you will hopefully just feel a little bit calmer. And again, you do this for as long as you need to. Count round again if you want to. It doesn't matter, you make it work for you. Okay, now let's see. The other thing we've got here are some objects which will help kind of ground you as well. I'll show you what I've got here. I've got some things here. So I've got, you see that little Lego figure, and I've also got, this is a USB stick, but actually it's quite kind of squishy, and I like to just hold this and just move it around my hand. And maybe you have something like this already. Maybe you have like a fidget spinner or one of those squashy stress balls or something like that. And actually just the movement of moving this around your hand actually is sending messages to your brain to help you concentrate. So helping that thinking brain get going again. Now you might have something like that already, so I wonder what you might use. Yeah, it might be a stress ball, but you can use anything. I've also got, like, I love Harry Potter. So look, there's a little pebble. That's quite nice to turn around in your hand as well. Now you might do this at home. You've got to be careful with having these things in at school, of course, because we don't want to cause a distraction to other people. Like, I've got a great little fidget cube here. As you can hear, it's quite clicky. That's fine for me at home or when I'm just working on my own, but actually when there's other people around me, that might get a bit distracting. So if you do have something like that that helps calm you, it's good to talk to your teacher about it so they're aware, and they might be able to remind you to use it if you're feeling a little bit worried or stressed. It's something you can just kind of have in your pocket that's just sitting there and that you can use it if need be. But again, talk to your teacher about that. Okay, so now other things you might do, and this is perhaps where you might want to talk in your group and maybe share the sort of things you do. So think about things that are making you feel real again and bring you back down to earth. So things like you might go home and, stroke your dog, or you might go home and give someone in your family a great big hug, and that's really good. There's lots of science about hugs actually. Really help you to feel good and kick in some good hormones. And I think it's got to be at least 20 seconds though for it to really work. So just hug someone for at least 20 seconds. That's a great one too. What else might you do? So I like to go in the garden, and that really grounds me as well, quite literally, I think sometimes if I'm digging. So, okay, so I wonder what sort of things you might do. Have a little talk about that, or maybe have a little bit of a practice of those different grounding things. It might be that some things you do anyway and you don't even realise, because grounding is something we all do. So if your teacher's teaching you a lesson, and after 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it depends on the person, you start twitching, you might start going like this, and then you might start going like this, or you cross your legs, or you go like that, or you go like that. That is your brain grounding you and trying to keep you concentrated and in the room. It's clever stuff. Okay, right. Well, that's enough from me, I think. So have a good half term, have a lovely break, and I'll see you again next term. Take care.